Google just dropped something that could quietly change how AI works forever, not because it is louder, not because it is faster, but because it may be smarter in the one way current AI still struggles most, updating what it believes in real time. This is Bayesian AI, and if this direction works the way it looks, we may be watching the shift from AI that guesses confidently to AI that actually adapts as new evidence comes in. I'm breaking down what this means and why it's a huge step. Most AI today feels impressive on the surface. It can write, it can code, it can summarize, it can reason. It can reason better than ever before, but it still has one major weakness. A lot of models do not truly handle uncertainty well. They often give you an answer like they are sure, even when they should be cautious. That is exactly why this Bayesian direction matters. Because instead of pretending to know, Bayesian-style reasoning is about updating beliefs as new information arrives, and that changes everything. Let's simplify this. Bayesian reasoning is basically the idea that you start with a belief, then update that belief when you get new evidence. So instead of saying, this is definitely the answer, a Bayesian system says, here is what I currently think is most likely, and here is how that changes when I learn more. That sounds simple, but it is a huge deal, because the real world is not static. New facts appear, conditions change, signals conflict, and good decisions usually require adjusting in real time. Google researchers recently described work on teaching language models to reason more like Bayesians by improving how they maintain uncertainty. That is a very different direction from just making a model bigger and hoping it becomes smarter. Here is why this matters. A lot of current AI feels intelligent until the environment becomes messy. Give it ambiguity, give it incomplete information, give it changing facts, give it situations where the answer is not binary. That is where reliability starts to matter. And this is the real promise of Bayesian-style AI. Not just producing answers, but updating confidence as new evidence comes in. Think about medicine, think about finance, think about cybersecurity, think about live search, think about autonomous systems. In all of those areas, the system cannot just generate something that sounds good. It needs to reason under uncertainty. It needs to revise. It needs to know when it might be wrong. That is the difference between impressive AI and dependable AI. Most people still think of AI as a one-shot machine. You ask, it answers, done. But that is not how intelligence works in the real world. Real intelligence is dynamic. You observe something, you form a belief, you test it, you get new information, then you adjust. That is what makes the phrase AI that evolves in real time so powerful. Because the real breakthrough is not just better text generation. It is the idea that the model can continuously reshape its internal confidence as reality changes. And once that happens, AI starts becoming less like a fancy autocomplete tool and more like a system that can participate in live decision making. That is the bigger story here. Quick pause. If you like breaking down AI shifts without the hype, hit subscribe. This channel covers what actually matters. Now, let's get into Google. Google is in a unique position to move something like this forward. Why? Because Bayesian reasoning becomes valuable when paired with massive systems. Search, prediction, ranking, recommendation, language models, live information environments. Google has spent decades operating where uncertainty matters. When people hear Google dropped Bayesian AI, it is not just a buzzword. It is that Google has the research depth and ecosystem to make it useful at scale. If this direction keeps improving, here is what it could unlock. First, better AI under uncertainty. Instead of false confidence, systems stay clear. Second, better real-time assistance. Imagine AI that does not just respond, but updates as the conversation evolves or as live information arrives. Third, better agents. If you want AI agents in the real world, they cannot be rigid. They need to revise plans, reweigh options, and adapt. Fourth, better trust. People do not just want power, they want systems that know when they are uncertain. Bayesian reasoning moves in that direction. This is also why I do not think this is just another model story. A lot of AI coverage gets trapped in a cycle. New benchmark, new model, new hype. But the deeper shifts are architectural. They change how systems behave. Teaching AI to reason like a Bayesian is an architectural shift in mindset. Maybe the future is not just bigger models with more data. Maybe it is models that handle uncertainty better and revise beliefs more intelligently. Maybe the future of AI is not only generation, maybe it is calibration. That is a much more important conversation. Now here is the question, can this actually reduce hallucinations? Can it reduce overconfidence? Can it make AI more trustworthy in high-stakes situations? That is the test, because if Bayesian-style training really helps models update beliefs effectively, then this is not just a research improvement. It could become a practical path toward reliable reasoning. If that happens, the effect could be massive, not flashy, not viral, massive. Because the future winners in AI may not be the systems that sound smartest. They may be the systems that know how uncertain they really are. So here's the big takeaway. Google's Bayesian AI push matters because it points toward a new kind of intelligence. AI that updates instead of freezes. AI that adapts instead of guesses. That is a much bigger leap than most people realize. If you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe and stay ahead of where AI is actually going. I'll see you in the next one.